Wealth hides in places few dare to look. It is not just coins or possessions, but the mastery of your own mind, the quiet strength that shapes your destiny. Today, I will share secrets that may feel uncanny, almost unsettling, because true abundance begins in silence, in subtle shifts that go unnoticed by most. Listen closely, even once, and the energy around you may begin to change. In this journey, you will uncover ancient Shaolin principles that have guided warriors and sages for centuries. You will learn how stillness can open doors, how awareness of your thoughts can transform your reality, and how discipline and patience quietly build a life that others can only admire from afar. These teachings are hidden in plain sight, whispered through the movements, breaths, and meditations of monks who understood that mastery over oneself is the truest form of power. We will explore how emotions shape the flow of opportunity, and how listening deeply to the world, to intuition, to the subtle signs around you, can reveal paths to abundance that conventional wisdom overlooks. Every point in this video is designed to shift your perception, to reveal the extraordinary within the ordinary, and to guide you toward a life where wealth is not a goal, but a natural consequence of inner harmony. By the end, you will hold tools to cultivate clarity, focus, and resilience, and begin seeing opportunities that were invisible before. Every moment of attention you give to these practices moves you closer to the life you are destined to lead. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe now and join a community committed to inner mastery and the subtle, powerful art of living fully. Stay with me until the end, for what you learn here may quietly yet profoundly change the path you walk. True power often begins in silence. Before a single action, before a single choice, the mind must be still. In the quiet corners of thought, clarity emerges, like sunlight breaking through dense fog. The Shaolin have long known this. A restless mind is a mind that misses what is right before it, trapped in illusions of urgency and desire. Wealth, in its deepest sense, does not arrive through noise or force, but through the careful cultivation of inner calm. When the mind settles, opportunities appear as if drawn by unseen hands. Small details, subtle shifts in circumstance, whispers of insight that others overlook, all become visible. In chaos, these signals are lost, drowned beneath endless thoughts, anxieties, and distractions. But in stillness, the mind becomes a mirror, reflecting the hidden currents of life. A simple choice, a measured step, a moment of patience can unfold into abundance that seems effortless to the untrained eye. The Shaolin way teaches that discipline in thought is as important as discipline in action. One who cannot master the storms within cannot navigate the currents outside. True mastery is knowing when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent. Wealth, like water, seeks the path of least resistance, flowing naturally to those whose minds are unclouded, whose attention is precise, whose inner state is serene. This is why the first step toward abundance is never in gold, contracts, or transactions. It is in breathing, in observing, in listening to the pulse of your own being. To calm the mind is to unlock vision, to cultivate stillness is to open the door to opportunities invisible to those who rush through life. Here in the quiet, the seeds of fortune take root, nourished by patience, awareness, and the disciplined heart of one who understands that the greatest wealth begins within. Every thought is more than a fleeting whisper, it is a ripple in the vast river of life, carrying subtle energy that shapes the currents around us. In the teachings of the ancients, it is said that the mind is the first battlefield. The energy of thought, if left unchecked, can scatter like wind-blown leaves, creating turbulence that clouds judgment and obscures the path ahead. Yet, when observed with clarity, each thought becomes a guide, a messenger pointing toward choices that align with purpose and destiny. Mindfulness is the key to this inner awareness. It is not about suppressing thoughts nor chasing the ones that feel pleasant. It is the quiet discipline of noticing them, watching without judgment, letting each rise and fall like waves on a still lake. In this observation, the mind learns its own patterns. Fear, doubt, and distraction reveal themselves, but so do intuition, insight, and subtle impulses that carry the energy of opportunity. With consistent practice, the observer within grows stronger, becoming a master of the currents of the mind rather than a servant to their chaos. This mastery is not abstract. It transforms action in the world. When thoughts are aligned, energy flows naturally into decisions and deeds that resonate with the greater rhythm of life. Doors once hidden begin to appear. Moments of clarity guide steps that feel effortless yet precise. Actions born from conscious awareness are like arrows that find their mark, attracting circumstances and people in harmony with intention. The wisdom of the ancients whispers that mastery of thought is mastery of destiny. Those who cultivate this awareness learn to move like water, soft yet unstoppable, patient yet inevitable. Every mindful moment strengthens the unseen threads connecting intention, energy, and outcome. In this subtle dance, life itself begins to respond, offering pathways that the distracted mind could never perceive. Discipline is the quiet force that moves mountains over time. In the Shaolin tradition, mastery is never born from a single grand gesture, but from countless small actions repeated with unwavering focus. Each stance held, each breath measured, each movement refined, builds a momentum that cannot be seen at first glance, but once it gathers, it becomes unstoppable. The true power of discipline lies in its subtlety, in the steady accumulation of effort that shapes character, mind, and circumstance alike. Wealth, in its truest form, follows the same rhythm. It is not summoned by sudden luck or fleeting inspiration, but cultivated through consistent habits, thoughts disciplined, actions repeated, choices refined. Small, mindful practices repeated day by day compound quietly, like seeds growing deep roots beneath the soil. The disciplined mind recognizes opportunities early, acts with precision, and navigates obstacles with calm resilience. Over time, these tiny, seemingly insignificant actions create results that astonish those who overlook the invisible work behind them. The creepy truth lies in how easily this power can be underestimated. A single moment of focus, a single deliberate choice, repeated without fanfare, can shift life in ways that seem almost unnatural to the untrained observer. The mind that honors discipline becomes like a well-tuned instrument. Its vibrations attract the circumstances, people, and resources aligned with its energy. Success appears not as a product of chance, but as the inevitable outcome of patient, persistent mastery. Ancient Shaolin wisdom reminds us that discipline is not punishment or rigidity. It is the art of shaping life with attention and intention, of planting seeds that grow silently into abundance. In this way, the small, disciplined acts of today carry the power to transform tomorrow, revealing how inner mastery quietly guides the flow of destiny, wealth, and life itself. Emotions are like storms on the surface of a still lake. When they rage unchecked, they obscure clarity, hiding the path to opportunity beneath waves of fear, anger, or desire. The Shaolin have long understood that the true battlefield is not outside, but within. A mind ruled by emotion is blind, and even the wisest actions falter when guided by turbulence. Abundance, in its deepest sense, is drawn to calm waters. It cannot rest where chaos reigns. Mindfulness becomes the lantern in this inner darkness. By observing emotions without judgment, the practitioner begins to see their patterns, their triggers, their subtle influence over thought and action. The moment awareness rises, the storm loses its power. Decisions become deliberate, precise, and aligned. Anger no longer pushes toward rash choices. Fear no longer prevents necessary steps. Each emotion, acknowledged and regulated, becomes a tool rather than a trap, a messenger guiding attention rather than a master controlling destiny. Shaolin philosophy teaches that mastery over self surpasses mastery over the world. One who can remain composed amidst turmoil commands more than armies or wealth. They command the very flow of life. Emotional mastery transforms opportunity from chance into recognition. When the heart is steady, insight sharpens. The world begins to reveal openings, synchronicities, and subtle paths that the emotionally untrained cannot perceive. In this discipline, patience and awareness converge. The mind learns to respond rather than react, to move with intention rather than impulse. The quiet power of controlled emotion shapes outcomes that once seemed impossible. Through stillness and inner regulation, the practitioner does not merely survive the storms of life. They harness them, turning turbulence into clarity and potential into reality. Here, the true wealth of mastery emerges. The ability to navigate life with a mind calm, focused, and unshakable. Every movement carries energy, but only those born from intention leave a lasting imprint. In the Shaolin way, action without awareness is like striking the air, effort spent, yet no force directed. True mastery begins when every step, every gesture, every choice is rooted in purpose. To act intentionally is to align the inner and outer worlds, letting each decision resonate with clarity, focus, and direction. Intentional action transforms ordinary efforts into profound results. When deeds are guided by inner values, energy flows naturally toward their completion. One who moves with awareness does not scatter strength on distractions or fleeting impulses. Instead, each effort compounds, building momentum in harmony with the larger currents of life. This is the quiet law of cause and effect, observed by sages for centuries. Alignment within produces alignment without. The subtle power of this principle explains why some appear to attract wealth effortlessly. It is not luck, nor mere coincidence. It is the invisible force of purpose guiding every act. Opportunities seem to arrive as if drawn to them, doors open where others see walls, and challenges bend into lessons rather than obstacles. The world responds to those whose actions are coherent, measured, and intentional, revealing patterns that the untrained eye overlooks. Shaolin philosophy emphasizes that mastery of movement mirrors mastery of life. Discipline, mindfulness, and clarity converge in the art of purposeful action. Each choice becomes a thread in the tapestry of destiny, woven with precision and care. Over time, the cumulative effect of consistent, intentional deeds creates a reality that reflects inner order, composure, and wisdom. To act with purpose is to become a conductor of one's own energy, orchestrating outcomes with quiet authority. In this alignment, the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary, and the seemingly elusive flow of abundance becomes a natural consequence of mindful, disciplined living. Time itself is a teacher, patient, and unyielding. In the Shaolin tradition, speed is never prized above discernment. A strike delivered too soon misses its mark. A movement rushed disturbs the harmony of the body and mind. True mastery lies in understanding the rhythm of life, in sensing the precise moment to act, and in trusting that preparation and awareness create the conditions for success. Wealth, like a river, cannot be forced. It flows to those who wait with patience, who prepare with diligence, and who remain alert to the subtle shifts that signal opportunity. Impulsive action scatters energy, while measured timing channels it. The sage knows that every seed must first be nourished, every step carefully considered before the harvest arrives. In stillness and preparation, the foundation of abundance is laid, often invisible to those who demand instant results. Patience is not passivity. It is an active cultivation of readiness. It requires awareness of the present, discipline in practice, and trust in the unfolding of processes beyond immediate perception. Shaolin teachings guide the practitioner to align with natural rhythms rather than fight against them, to observe the rise and fall of circumstances, and to act when the moment is ripe. This alignment transforms waiting from a test of endurance into a practice of insight. The subtle mastery of timing magnifies results in ways that force never can. Opportunities appear not as sudden luck, but as the inevitable convergence of preparation, awareness, and presence. Each patient choice, each deliberate pause, draws the right conditions closer. In the quiet practice of waiting, the mind learns to perceive the currents of life, recognizing when to move and when to remain still. Here, abundance is not hurried. It is earned, sensed, and embraced at the perfect moment. Attachment is a weight that binds the mind, clouding judgment and narrowing perception. Fear of loss, longing for gain, or clinging to immediate results creates tension that blocks the natural flow of life. In Shaolin practice, the path of mastery is paved with release, learning to let go of what confines the heart and mind. The wise understand that clinging does not secure. It repels, creating resistance where ease could guide the way. Detachment does not mean apathy or inaction. It is the art of acting without being consumed by outcomes, of engaging fully while remaining unbound by expectation. Mindfulness cultivates this awareness, allowing each moment to be experienced without distortion. The practitioner notices desire, acknowledges it, and then allows it to pass like clouds drifting across the sky. In this space, clarity arises, and true abundance, subtle, pervasive, and unclaimed, becomes visible. The profound, almost unsettling truth is that when attachment is released, life begins to deliver. Opportunities appear as if drawn by invisible currents, doors open that were previously unnoticed, and circumstances align in ways that feel uncanny yet inevitable. The energy no longer trapped in fear or longing moves freely, attracting outcomes naturally rather than forcing them through struggle. Shaolin wisdom teaches that the greatest wealth is not possession, but presence. A mind unshackled by attachment can perceive chance, act with precision, and respond with flexibility. Discipline and mindfulness create this inner freedom, transforming patience, awareness, and stillness into a magnet for opportunity. By letting go, the practitioner discovers that abundance is not something to hold on to, it is something to inhabit, experience, and flow through. In this release, the ordinary transforms, and the world, in quiet response, aligns to the readiness of the prepared, unattached mind. True wealth extends beyond coins or possessions. It is the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. In the Shaolin tradition, abundance is measured not by what is acquired, but by the alignment of one's inner world. When thought, action, and being move in unison, life flows with a clarity and force that seems almost effortless. This alignment is the foundation upon which resilience, insight, and enduring success are built. Shaolin training embodies this principle in every stance, every breath, every movement. The body is strengthened and tempered, yet it moves with grace and awareness. Breath anchors attention, connecting the mind to the present and the spirit to the rhythm of life. Awareness ties the threads together, creating a seamless flow of energy that informs decisions, guides actions, and shapes perception. Each practice reinforces the understanding that mastery is holistic, strength without mindfulness is incomplete, awareness without discipline is fragile, and effort without harmony is wasted. When mind, body, and spirit are aligned, intuition awakens. Decisions arise naturally, guided by subtle insight rather than mere calculation. Challenges become opportunities to refine understanding. Obstacles transform into lessons that deepen skill and awareness. The practitioner learns to sense timing, energy, and the movement of circumstances, responding with precision that feels almost preordained. Holistic alignment also nurtures a sense of inner abundance. Confidence, calm, and clarity arise from coherence within, creating a magnetism that draws favorable conditions and relationships. Wealth, in this sense, is the byproduct of a life lived in balance, where energy is neither scattered nor trapped, but directed with conscious intention. Through discipline, practice, and mindful presence, the integration of mind, body, and spirit reveals the subtle truth. True success flows naturally from harmony, and abundance is the natural expression of a life aligned from within. True listening is more than hearing sounds. It is the practice of tuning into subtle currents beneath the surface of life. In Shaolin philosophy, mastery begins with attention, with the ability to sense the invisible patterns that shape existence. The world speaks in whispers, a pause in conversation, a flicker of insight, a synchronicity that seems too precise to be mere chance. Those who listen deeply do not chase signs, they become receptive, cultivating stillness so that guidance can arrive naturally. A single mindful moment can illuminate what was previously hidden. The quiet breath, the pause before action, the observation of subtle energy, all can reveal opportunities, connections, and solutions that the hurried mind misses. This is the creepy magic. Profound shifts often appear in ordinary moments, unnoticed by those who fail to pay attention. The life-altering insight may come as a feeling, an image, or a thought that seems to arrive from nowhere, yet carries the power to redirect the course of destiny. Listening deeply requires discipline and trust. It demands that the mind release urgency, that the heart release expectation, and that awareness be present without interference. Shaolin masters cultivate this through meditation, movement, and attentiveness to breath, creating a bridge between the conscious mind and the deeper currents of intuition. Energy flows more clearly when the practitioner listens rather than reacts, allowing discernment to guide action. Through this practice, ordinary experiences become lessons, coincidences transform into guidance, and the invisible becomes tangible. Life begins to reveal itself, not as random chaos, but as a web of signals waiting for one who can perceive them. In these moments of quiet, when attention is undivided and intention aligned, the hidden magic of existence emerges, subtle, powerful, and transformative, showing that the path to abundance is often first revealed in stillness and deep, careful listening. Gratitude is the lens through which abundance becomes visible. In Shaolin teachings, the recognition of what already exists within life, small or great, is not mere politeness. It is a cultivation of energy. A heart attuned to gratitude sees opportunity where others see lack and measures value not by accumulation but by presence and awareness. Each acknowledgement of what is, each quiet moment of appreciation, strengthens the connection between inner harmony and the outer world. Generosity flows naturally from this awareness. To give without expectation is to honor the rhythm of life itself. Shaolin philosophy teaches that energy, like water, moves in cycles. What is offered with sincerity returns, often multiplied in forms beyond prediction. This is not a transaction, but a principle of resonance, an alignment of intention and action that shifts circumstances in subtle, profound ways. When the mind and heart release attachment to outcomes, acts of giving become pure expressions of mastery rather than obligation. The combination of gratitude and generosity transforms perception. Life begins to respond with synchronicity, opening doors that were previously invisible. Small acts, unnoticed by the world, accumulate silently, setting in motion changes that appear almost uncanny. The practitioner who embodies this mindset discovers that wealth, material or otherwise, expands not through pursuit alone, but through the cultivation of an open, receptive spirit. This principle is both simple and profound. By recognizing what is already present and sharing without expectation, the energy within and around oneself is amplified. Inner mastery grows, patience strengthens, and clarity sharpens. The ordinary transforms into extraordinary, and the currents of life align with precision. Gratitude and generosity are not merely virtues, they are instruments of subtle power, guiding the practitioner toward a life where abundance flows naturally, quietly, and in harmony with the rhythms of the universe. Mastery is not a destination. It is a path walked moment by moment. In Shaolin philosophy, the journey of self-mastery stretches across a lifetime, woven into every breath, movement, and thought. Each day presents an opportunity to refine awareness, discipline, and emotional control. No accomplishment, no moment of insight is ever complete. There is always a deeper layer to explore, a finer point to understand, and a subtler alignment to achieve. Daily practice becomes the heartbeat of inner growth. Mindfulness trains the mind to perceive the unseen, to notice the currents of thought and energy that shape life. Discipline shapes action, turning repeated effort into momentum and cultivating the resilience needed to navigate challenges. Emotional control steadies the spirit, allowing clarity and precision to guide decisions. Alignment of mind, body, and spirit ensures that every choice resonates with purpose, creating coherence between inner state and outer action. Each practice reinforces the other, creating a cycle of continuous refinement that quietly transforms life. True wealth emerges not from the accumulation of material possessions, but from this ongoing cultivation of self. The mind that is disciplined, the heart that is balanced, and the spirit that is aligned radiate energy that attracts opportunity naturally. Circumstances respond to the level of inner mastery, revealing doors, connections, and insights that the untrained mind cannot perceive. The richest individuals are often those whose inner world is cultivated, not merely their bank accounts. The path of self-mastery requires patience and dedication, for it is subtle and gradual. Yet the rewards are profound: clarity, resilience, wisdom, and a sense of harmony that touches every aspect of life. Each day is an invitation to refine, to observe, and to align, reminding the practitioner that wealth, influence, and fulfillment are reflections of the quiet, persistent work of mastering oneself. Wealth is more than numbers or possessions. It is the natural outcome of mastering the self. Through the practices of Shaolin wisdom, mindfulness, and disciplined action, life begins to reveal hidden principles that quietly guide success. The subtle, almost uncanny truth is that small, intentional actions combined with the art of deep listening can shift your path in ways that are invisible at first, yet profound in effect. By cultivating stillness, awareness, emotional control, and alignment of mind, body, and spirit, you open the door to opportunities that were always present, waiting for your attention. Each moment of mindfulness, each deliberate choice, compounds over time, shaping not only external outcomes, but the very energy with which you move through life. Carry this practice into your daily life. Observe your thoughts, act with intention, release attachment, and honor the rhythms of patience and timing. Let gratitude and generosity guide your actions, and remember that self-mastery is a lifelong journey. In doing so, you transform not only your own experience, but the world around you, quietly attracting abundance in all its forms. If these teachings resonate, join our community on Shaolin Soulfire. Subscribe now to explore more wisdom, insight, and guidance on the path of inner mastery. Embrace these practices with calm attention and watch as life unfolds in ways that are subtle, profound, and deeply enriching.